Check the mic, we're going live. Stories told, they rise and dive. Topics fresh with every spin. You won't guess what's coming in. Every week a new surprise. Minds awake, never lies. Conversations bold and free. Tune in now, just wait and see. This podcast is uncalled for. Catch us here, there's so much more. Laughs and tales you can't ignore. A journey that will leave you floored. In the night or in the day, just press play, we're on our way. Voices sharp, opinions bright, talking through the day and night. Guests and hosts.
Hi everybody, welcome to the podcast. Pleased to have another great guest with me today. So if you could introduce yourself, please.
I'm Jason Ward. I am a chess coach with Mike and gotten to hang out and do chess stuff with him for a number of years now.
Yep.
I'm also a former neighbor of a local celebrity, one Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what else.
All right. So let's start with the chess stuff first, because that's your gerb. Yeah, I think you started shortly after I did, and
About 2018.
yeah, so shortly after I did, because I started 2017. So
It was we were still up in the Liberty office,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember I interviewed with Mike T. And we were down there. There was a bunch of stuff going on. Like there might have been a tournament or a club happening, and I had no idea what any of it was. I just saw the little ad and was like, well, I like chess. I'm an only child, so I grew up playing it because games with fewer players worked better than the big multiplayer ones. I would always play with mom or dad. And so I had answered the ad, and it was fun.
yeah, chess is one of those games you could play forever, and it's always going to be two-player unless you're playing one of these variants and everything.
Some of the online multiplayer ones beyond just the two-player, the four-player variants, I've looked at some of those, and they kind of make my brain hurt a little bit.
My brain hurts. They turn you into a Gumby. Yeah, and I'm talking Monty Python Gumbies, of course.
The other one is when last year I had the chance to go over and go to the St. Louis World Hall of Fame for chess.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And I got it up there, one of the 3-level chess sets.
Yeah, I saw that.
The 3-layer, and that's got the board and the instructions behind it. It's not not the Star Trek 3-level chess that I was anticipating having to learn. It was just 3 chessboards stacked on top of each other that you can just work horizontally or vertically.
Right.
And it's fascinating to incorporate that extra round of variables into it.
Sure. Yeah, that's funny. That's cool that you're bringing Star Trek into this, because being a Trekkie myself, I sometimes put it at the back of my, oh yeah, chess has been part of Star Trek since the beginning with the special 3-level. In fact, I believe our boss has in his possession a signed Leonard Nimoy photo with Spock and the 3D chessboard.
I got a book signed by Chekhov over there
Walter
from
Koenig.
when he was at the Comic-Con. That was a lot of fun. He's a southpaw too. So
he's left-handed?
That was
I
fun.
did not know that.
While he was signing things, I was like, hey, I recognize that. And so that was a fun little moment there.
Yeah.
I think probably because I remember that's when watching Star Trek when I was a kid. Like on the weekends was when it would be on. Like I'd catch it Saturday afternoon on syndication.
Yep.
You'd get like Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica and something else. It wasn't like the regular Thursday night lineup that was the Hulk and Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
It was that power couple.
Yeah.
But you get the Saturday afternoon,
Yeah.
And so I remember watching old Star Trek episodes, and it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere in the back of my brain, seeing those little chess sets, boards being played, planted a seed about, oh, that looks like an interesting game. I'll check that out some more.
Yeah. So I had a sort of the same thing, watching the original series on the Saturdays, and TNG as well. So
Yep.
also on Saturday, and I do have a couple of Trek cast autographs as well,
That's cool.
but they're more recent.
Yeah.
Like, far more recent, like Strange New Worlds. Recent.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
I
so-
really like that. I've been watching it,
Yeah.
and I didn't have any trouble getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
Discovery, I've got to take another run at.
Yeah.
But Strange New Worlds, I didn't have it. It pulled me right in. I liked
Mm-hmm.
it a lot.
So the Strange New Worlds autographs I am in possession of. One is Anson Mount, and that's because I gave $5 to his Indiegogo to send his podcast co-host to wilderness survival training. And you can find this video on YouTube. Like, I think it's Island Survival Exit or something like that. So that's pretty cool. Not only did I get mentioned in the credits, but they sent me a postcard, and that postcard is part of my little poster that I have in the background for podcast and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
The other one that I saw more recently that was fun when he was here for the Comic-Con was Will Wheaton. It's been a number of years ago now, but I got to see him and got a picture with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always been one of my favorites, even when nobody liked him.
Same, yeah. Will Wheaton. We'll go on tangent before I talk about the other autograph. So Will Wheaton, I'm a huge fan of his tabletop series.
Oh God, yeah.
Which got myself and a lot of other people into the board gaming hobby. I thought it was interesting that after he left Next Generation as a regular, he lived in Topeka for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's interesting to learn. And
I really liked his books.
Was it the 2013 Comic-Con by chance that you were?
That's probably it. That's about right.
I was at that Comic-Con. That was also the Comic-Con that friends of the podcast, Bill Butts and Sam Toddy, did their Planet Anime, Planet Comic-Con. I would just add Planet Anime, but Planet Comic-Con video, which you can still find online. And they got a few interviews, none of them with Will Wheaton, although I heard from Bill that Will was quite nice to deal with. As for Takei, it sounds like they couldn't get access to him because his manager was a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got some of the other celebrities there, like Lou Ferrigno and Adam Baldwin and Walter Jones. Gotta be careful how I phrase this because one time my words were misinterpreted as Lou Ferrigno with the Black Power Ranger.
Just a slight difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the big Star Trek.
That would have been the next year, I think.
That
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, that would have been the next year or sometime there, shortly thereafter.
Yeah. Because I remember I got to see there was a big panel that had a whole bunch of them on them, and Will was up there with Gates McFadden, so he was making jokes about his TV mom.
Yeah, his space mom, he calls them.
Yeah.
Their space mom and space son. Yeah.
Yep, and then you had.
I think it's all the regulars except for Sir Patrick
Yep.
were there soon.
LeVar Burton led us
Yeah.
all in a round of reading Rainbow. It was
Nice.
a fun time. There was a good panel. I liked it. Sometimes when you get to those, they're like you can tell when the casts are really, I don't know, have that vibe together, and they're up there having fun, as opposed to my publicist said I'm supposed to.
Yeah,
do
I'm supposed to
this.
show up to this thing. I don't want to be here. Blah blah blah. I got to
There I
better things to
am.
do.
By Grabthar's hammer.
Galaxy Quest reference, of course. Yeah, that actor, Hans Gruber,
I mean,
chef
that
of
was a
Not-
phenomenal cast. I mean, that's really one of the
Hans Gruber,
quietly
chef of
brilliant movies.
Nottingham, the Metatron, Hail to the Almighty, and voice of the one true God.
Yeah,
Dogma.
one of this- yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you got the
Yeah, I got John Ratzenberger's signature at one Planet Comic Con too, because I lost a bet.
yeah.
But he was a nice guy anyway. So, the other Strange New Worlds autograph I got was Christina Chong.
Okay.
An Union Singh. Context here, in addition to being a kick-ass actress, she is also trying to get into pop music as a
Fine.
singer, and she put out a limited EP with 4 tracks and everything. I managed to get a physical copy
Nice.
shipped all the way from England.
Very cool.
with her because she's English, right? With her signature. So,
Bona fide actual
Yeah.
thing.
yeah,
That's something I think that I don't see as much going on now is the appreciation for the physical object.
yeah,
I think I was just talking to somebody recently about like comic books and how as soon as everything was able to be scanned and for whatever $5.99 on readeverycomic.com,
yeah.
you can have a monthly subscription, and if you want to read episode, issue number such
Sure.
and such, whatnot, well, you can. You don't have to go to a convention and hunt it
Right.
down and paw through box after box after
Right.
box. And I think you
I
lose
guess there was a
something.
third Trek-related autograph I got thing, but and he's not exactly known for being in Star Trek. He's more known for basketball. That'd be James Worthy.
Oh, okay.
James Worthy, for those, he played a Klingon in one episode of TNG. But he's best known for playing for the Lakers. Really nice guy, and I got a few sports autographs over the years too. So Eric Dickerson, one of my favorite players of all time.
Nice.
Kurt Warner. That was a cool story, meeting Kurt Warner right after Super Bowl 34. They had a few Rams players come and do autographs. Kurt was one of them, and when I was waiting in line for him to sign my thing, the guy in front of me was having some problems dealing with all of his stuff.
Yeah.
So I helped him out. Kurt had already finished with my autograph. Oh, thanks, Kurt.
Yeah.
Got to shake hands with the man. Yes.
Right there, the one, the only. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good check mark, though, as far as bucket list kind of people to
Yeah.
come across and see.
Yeah.
That definitely is noteworthy.
Yep. And same with Dickerson. I got to shake his hand and all that. Kevin Carter was a good one. Really funny guy. Kevin Carter and Isaac Bruce. Got to meet him. Well, probably on the my publicist is forcing me to be here. But I hear he's still active in the St. Louis community, and that's awesome. I also got to meet Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and not a nice guy.
That's awesome. I am always having people ask me. Well, when I was younger, the kids would always ask me if I was somehow related to Manute Bol, only because of my height. And it's funny. I've run into recently at the Quick Trip, and just down the street in Riverside, I
Right.
ran into somebody who was asking me, tall questions like they do. And then they said, well, I was asking because, my uncle's Manute Bol. And I'm kind of like, are you kidding me? Wow. It's like, hey.
Yeah, I think he did live like Olathe or something.
I think so. I mean, it was, it's not too far. So it was kind of one of those small world moments for sports celebrities.
Manute Bol, for those who don't know, he stood 7'7", was a really tall guy, and there was a great SNL sketch where he was getting an award for tallest player ever. He actually showed up and said, I am not the tall player. And for further context, folks, Jason stands at 7 foot himself. So, which makes me feel short, being just 6'1". But
We all have our
yeah,
jobs in life, and one of mine is to make everyone else feel short.
it's all good. It's all good. So
It's nice. My mom told me a long time ago that people like to walk into a room and be noticed, and you'll see people doing all kinds of things in order to do that, and you will not have that problem.
no,
You will be able to be noticed anytime you walk
Yeah.
into a room. You've just got to make sure you're doing good things at the time.
oh, absolutely. Like helping teach chess or helping run tournaments and
That's some of the stuff I try. I've got a 7-year-old, so I try and share some of that stuff with him along the way too.
good deal. Yeah,
Seven's the magic number today, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah. So, and since I brought up athletics, it is also good to point out that Jason, we are actually recording this at his house in the Briarcliff neighborhood, and on the way down here, I passed by the at least one time residence of one Travis Kelsey.
The one and only original
Yeah.
site where Taylor came to visit that first fateful weekend.
Yeah.
And that made the neighborhood an interesting place, let me tell you.
Yeah.
A little 1 lane and a half kind of sleepy with tree covered thing all of a sudden was lined with all of the stretch SUV things, and I think at one point they ended up having the Kansas City Police Department
Wow.
coming to keep track of traffic coming in and out from one side or the other of the neighborhood because there were so many people just coming in to just drive by.
Flock
and
by.
just look.
Oh, there's Taylor.
Look.
Where's Taylor? Now we are recording this on Taylor Swift's birthday, so happy birthday to Taylor.
Happy birthday indeed.
Yeah.
An excellent year.
Oh yeah, no question. She got her master's. She was able to buy her master's back, and she and Travis are now happily engaged. So,
Yep.
which
I
which happened right after they recorded her appearance on New Heights. Yeah, but yeah, what you described to me was that it was Taylor's security asking everyone driving in and out for their ID.
Yeah, it was kind of like you had the one white big SUV that she probably came in, and then there were a couple of big black ones that were kind of the trailer security type SUVs, and then you had like the 3 or 4 kind of beat up beater cars with the guys with cameras sitting in them
Right.
that were following behind them. And so it was kind of like you had her security, paparazzi all just kind of lined up with the police sort of standing around making sure everybody behaved, I guess. I'm not
Right.
sure.
Right.
But that
Just-
made for that was a adventurous weekend, just trying to get in and out. I mean,
Wow.
it was a constant stream.
I'll bet. Yeah. Yeah, we don't get to see many celebrities of that caliber, but she has obviously been around our area a lot the last couple of years.
It was kind of funny up until that point. The celebrity in the neighborhood was just Travis himself.
Yeah.
When he had moved in, it was we were kind of like, oh, did you hear? There's a chief in the neighborhood now. And then shortly after that, it turned into it's that chief is in the neighborhood. And so then we just kind of had our little neighborhood pride of Travis Kelsey lives in our neighborhood, and then once Taylor arrived, he kind of outgrew us.
Yeah, so he had to find a new house. I'm not going to say the specific neighborhood, of course, but it is a lot closer than me. Yeah.
And a lot farther from anybody that wants to come up and knock on the door.
Right. Right. So all I'm going to say is gated community in Leawood, Kansas, near the. I just saw that the fumble. More context. We have Army Navy going on in the background right now. So yeah, that was interesting. And then his Leawood house gets broken into shortly, like days after Mahomes had his house broken into in Loch Lloyd.
It's crazy. I I don't quite get the extreme fascination that people get with celebrities.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can get appreciation and admiration up to the point where you start to, I don't know, when you cross that cross that barrier into their bubble.
Right.
Once you start to interfere with their life, then it turns into something else entirely.
Yeah.
And that closeness that we have simulated through the internet and through YouTube and podcasts and everything, where, well, I sit there and I listen to Travis and his brother talk on the radio, on New Heights podcast all the time. They're just like me. It's like, if I see them, we can just pick up our conversation like we've been having, all along.
Well, the past year, I know they've done a pretty good job of doing public events. Like, I think they did one Parent Lights this year. Not the within the block itself, but on the streets. They just close up the street and we're set up and everything. I didn't go, but had I known they were in the streets, I probably would have.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Navy just scored a
There we
touchdown.
go. Navy got it in and tied it up. This has been a good game. They've been slugging it out from the very beginning.
Go Navy. So yeah, again, for the contest, those who are new listeners to the podcast in particular, I did serve 2 weeks in the United States Navy. So, but yeah, you also described the paparazzi.
Yeah, they were extreme. There were trees that, neighborhood. We've been. My folks were some of the first ones that had moved in here when the neighborhood was first growing up 30 years ago.
Right.
And so, these trees have been growing between these houses the whole time and have gotten to be, some nice, good-sized trees with some decent coverage. And they would climb the trees behind his house and just sit in the trees and try and take pictures through the windows or of the backyard or anything. There was no, they went around, you can get around, the house kind of backs up to another house for, the way the little subdivision kind of has the roads, that kind of cul-de-sacs that wind around. So they
I saw the map. There's a lot of cul-de-sacs appearance, and it's hilly too. I mean, I step outside and I get a huge view of North KC and downtown, and assuming it's not snowing like it is right now. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
it
heck
is
of a
December
view.
though.
Heck of a view. So.
It's nice to get, a little bit of snow for Christmas at least, so you can have that white Christmas, check the box, and then I'm happy for it to start warming up.
Oh, yeah.
My joints and I look forward to the warmer weather.
Amen. Amen to that. So yeah, but yeah, talking with you just now, it sounds like even though, despite the fact this man was your neighbor for a good long part, it sounds like I had more interaction with the man.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure I passed him on the on the road several times, throughout the years when I'm kind of going, "Hey, was that him? Was that him?" like a fan would. But
right.
I don't think I haven't quite gotten to the point where I thought about dressing my kid up and having him wear his Travis Kelce jersey like he's got for Halloween, and taking him up and knocking on the door, but. He puts up the police line do not cross.
I saw
tape.
that. I did see those photos. Yeah, the police line tape.
So I can't imagine what the line of kids would look like out that driveway.
Conversely, we're just past the 2nd year anniversary of him quoting me on New Heights.
The famous sandwich episode.
The sandwich with the mayo ASMR.
Yeah.
Again, purely by accident, I was picking up Conrado, just taking him to the club, and had a little time to kill, so I stopped by that diner, which is right there in Edwardsville. Shout out to Grill 32, and they were pretty nice and all that. Saw that they had that sandwich on the menu. I took snapped a photo of it, posted it to the Reddits, and there it is. Travis Kelce. Yeah, we're officially a sandwich. The user Mick So he butchered my name.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I remember.
Read it verbatim. Read my post verbatim, and then I read all the menu, the items on the menu that are in this sandwich, including the mayonnaise, which led to Jason, the Kelsey that doesn't live here, but he's been around the area too, giving props to Peter Mays, House of Kabasi, and all that. But Jason's reply was, "Well, other than the mayo, well, I personally like the mayo, but Travis here, he doesn't eat mayo."
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when you found that sandwich. When you came to the club that day,
Yeah.
and you were like, dude, you gotta check this out.
Yeah.
And you're like pulling up all these pictures, and you're like, look at this, it's got this, it's got this.
Yeah,
Like, whoa.
it's basically a Philly cheesesteak and a BLT with lunch meats and barbecue on it, all in one sandwich.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's it's not just a sandwich, that's an adventure.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the cool thing, the cool thing about it is it's Grill 32 let me try the sandwich for free. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I led to Travis's Mayo ASMR, which I will not repeat here. Just go to YouTube, look at Mayo ASMR. It'll be one of the first shorts that shows up. It'll see Mayo ASMR featuring Travis Kelsey, and have Travis's face on the clip. So.
There you go.
But it does look like he's fully moved in down in Leewood. If you've seen, I think the one where they had Taylor was the first that we actually saw his new setup. Which the old setup, the white background with the computer and all that.
Yeah.
The new setup, he has a leather chair and a bookshelf behind him with all sorts of stuff. And the first time we saw this bookshelf was when we had Taylor on the podcast. So.
Yeah. I think for our neighborhood, the straw that broke the camel's back for him was not necessarily the professional paparazzi.
Right.
It was the would-be paparazzi and his neighbor that just set up a camera that was running a live feed 24/7 out the window pointed at his house.
Oh, jeez.
And just sold the feed to, I don't remember which one, one of the rags that would pay for something like that. And so between the tree climbers and the live feed, that kind of pushed him over the edge of, I think I can move into a slightly higher neighborhood bracket on this.
But
with this upgrade to my life.
On the fact that, I'm dating a billionaire and I'm going to marry her. So.
Might want to represent.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like I said, shortly after he moves into this new house, he gets broken into. So,
yeah.
So that just goes to show, even if you're in a gay community, you're not 100% safe. But yeah, that is just disturbing. Just hearing that for the first time about the amateur wannabe journalists doing live feeds, dude. That is not cool.
No. Because we liked having him here. We all got along fine. And then, but isn't that the way it is, where it takes, there's always that one person that has to overachieve to ruin it for the rest.
Yeah. A few bad apples, exactly.
Well, I think about, I saw that Disney's getting ready to release the 6-part documentary.
They've released 2 parts already.
Yep, from the Eras tour. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I was going back and thinking about my first arena concert that I saw. It was actually my very first concert. That was at none other than Arrowhead Stadium. And it was the Jackson 5 Victory Tour. The final tour where they were all together, where Michael announced on stage. I don't think it was at that concert, but somewhere along there where he decided to let everybody know he wasn't going to be performing with his brothers anymore. He's got Thriller now, and he's moved beyond that.
Wow, that is way back to the 80s. Yeah.
That was the loudest thing I think I ever experienced.
So I had to throw in Michael Jackson in South Park.
There you go.
Yeah, so. Being ignorant. Yeah. Yeah, I think the first concert I actually paid money to go see was the Spice Girls at Sansone,
Yeah.
which was fun. This was after Jerry had left the group, so it's just the two Mels, Victoria and Emma, performing, and it's still a good show.
Yeah.
Everything,
Definitely.
and then went to one other concerts at Sansone. It was Journey, not with Steve Perry,
Yeah.
and Def Leppard.
Oh, there you go. My friends and I did a road trip up to Louisville for the Monsters of Rock tour, and we got to see Metallica without James Hetfield.
Nice.
That was interesting. He busted his knee up on a skateboard or a jet ski or something, and so everybody else just kind of swapped in and out. So it was kind of interesting listening to Kid Rock sing the lead on Nothing Else Matters.
Really cool, really cool. Yeah, yeah. We're on this kick of talking about celebs too. Well, I've been in the company of chess celebrities, so sure. Yeah, 2018. So this has been shortly after I got my car. Ken took Mike T, Conrado, and I to St. Louis.
Oh yeah.
Went to a day of the Singfeld Cup.
Oh wow. Very cool.
So we got to see some of those guys playing, like Carlson and Nakamura and Caruana and Wesley So, MVL, Carjacking, to name a few. But what was really cool was near the end of that day, getting that photo of Conrado with Vishy Anand.
Yeah. That would be.
That was really cool. Anand, very nice guy. And then just a couple of years ago, they had the thing over at the Truman Library.
It was out at the Genealogy Center, or was it?
No, at the Truman's
Was it at the
Presidential
Truman? All right.
Library.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was Kasparov.
Yep.
That is such a cool experience, just standing right next to arguably one of the best chess players to ever live.
Absolutely. And with his perspective that he brings, not just from the chess, but just international relations and the way that chess has played a role globally throughout,
Sure.
at least recent history, has been very, very important.
I mean, that's interesting. Well, Kasparov has had to go through. He renounced his Russian citizenship. I think he's Croatian citizen now. Lives pretty much full time in New York, and
Yeah.
as and for good reasons. He is hypercritical of Russia and the current Russian regime. So I understand that he doesn't want to be have a hit job put on him,
Yeah.
which is a kind way of putting it, because Russia has had a very nasty habits in recent years of murder, deathing critics of Putin. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not had a chance to meet any actual chess celebrities
yeah,
yet, but seeing the some of the stuff at the Hall of Fame was really interesting. They had some displays
they have the Chess Hall of Fame at the St. Louis Chess Club. Yep.
across the street.
Right across the streets, yeah, and USCF moved their headquarters there too. So that once again, billionaire. That's Rex Sinkfield, right there. So.
That helps.
Yeah.
Nothing like
Rex actually showed up to the Kasparov thing too. So
oh yeah. Yeah,
So-
that always helps to have a nice sponsor.
But what was really cool about that event was we specifically asked to bring sets for the kids to play chess, and a lot of the kids that showed up were our students.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was real cool to see some of them and to see them.
I really love our students. They're really
Yeah.
the way that they really get after it and
Well,
tackle the
some of them certainly the ones that would come to events to play in front of Kasparov. Those are some of our better students, I think. But let's be honest, the vast majority of our students, especially the elementary school kids, they're just there because they need babysitting, I think. So I get the sense that a lot of them, well, the ones that want to pay attention will. And that's why I like working with the middle schoolers is they're there for the most part to pay attention.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, you don't get the middle schoolers don't get signed up just because it was either this or something else that they liked less.
Right.
It's not just the lesser of two evils. It's the, hey, I want to do this. I want to play more, learn more, do more.
Yeah. But even among the middle schoolers, and this is just my observation, there are some that probably don't know what is going on, some that are not paying attention. And by that age, 13 and 14, they should at least know the basics.
Yep.
And there was a bit like last week that a couple of the kids came in and were not familiar with the basics. Like, what the heck? You don't know how a pawn moves or how a pawn captures? That's some basic stuff that you should already know by the time you're coming to a chess club in middle school.
Right. You would think at least...
At the middle school, at the point of middle school, you should be learning how to play, getting ready to play in tournaments and stuff. So.
With the elementary kids, you can understand them coming in. It's pretty easy to split them up into the ones that are learning and the ones that are, just starting to find their way around the board.
Right.
And so you can really find the interest level there. And the ones that are engaged, it's like, the sky's the limit. I mean, you just see them they're little sponges. And I'm envious of that ability at that age to just absorb information in that quantity that I have to work hard at.
I'm always reminded of St. Elizabeth's doing that club, and there was one kid in that entire club that actually paid attention. That was Noah.
Yeah.
Noah has since come back to the club. He's now a full member and comes to play casually or whatever, and he's still a pretty decent player now as a young adult. And doing good. He's brought his brother in to the club too. His brother's also a decent player, but he was also one of those kids screwing around back in the day.
Yeah, that'll throw you off a little bit. Mm-hmm. With the ones that you get to see kind of year after year growing up is one of the things that I really like is they get better and better, and each year for the schools that I'll go back to and have repeated, seeing them after the summer, I'm always just amazed how much.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How grown up they become in that small period of time, and then it's like back with the upgraded version, and away they go.
Yeah, one of my current students, he was in the tournament today. Not playing the youth, playing the adults.
Yeah.
In the USCF, and doing I think he did a good job.
That's good.
So,
especially when it's somebody you've been working with to see some of that stuff you've been doing.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Finding root and coming to play in actual games so they can go, hey, there was a reason they were telling me this. Maybe
there's a reason we tell you this to prepare you for that next level.
And it's nice when they kind of cross that threshold from their goal is to prove you wrong to the goal being, okay, well, how can I learn and get better?
Yeah.
And not feel like I have to prove that I know what I'm doing.
All right. Yeah, you should be comfortable with what you're doing and everything. Before you even think about doing tournaments, you should have that comfort level, and that's What's if a chess club's been done the right way, that's what we're preparing you to do, is just to do your best in the tournament.
That's the really cool thing about chess, I think, is one of the aspects how you're able to teach kids a lot of life skills around the game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's obviously all the sportsmanship stuff, and then just the interacting with people and the way that you can have, a game like that is recognized internationally. And, if someday they're traveling around the world in some coffee shop and there's a chessboard, it doesn't matter what the native tongue is.
Yeah.
They'll be able to sit down
They'll
at
be able
that
to sit
board
down
across from whoever it is and have a common language in chess.
I agree. But let's be honest, a lot of these grandmasters know English. I think, hearing Magnus talk, he definitely knows English.
Yeah.
Everything, not so much. I'm not so sure about the two guys that followed him as a world chess champion.
Yeah. That.
Which of course would be Ding Liren, who's Chinese.
And what?
Ding Liren, he's the guy that immediately followed Magnus as world chess champion.
Oh yeah.
He's from China, and I think they do a pretty decent job of teaching English in Chinese and in China and stuff. And then Gukesh is the current guy, and he's from India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to me when I learned about the way that different countries approach chess competition. And countries like China will sponsor their players and have resources and finances available for them to continue their work. Whereas
in the States, it's where you have whoever has the most money gets access to that. And that's kind of unfortunate, but we've been seeing it with our clubs, particularly in the Shawnee Mission district.
Yep.
Because you notice all the clubs that we have in Shawnee Mission are in the rich kid school district, the East.
It's definitely
feeders.
a more affluent part of the city.
Whereas you get to, actually there is a West feeder that we have a club at that's just down the street from my house. But the other West feeders, no, not so much. So, same is true of North and Northwest, and we have, I want to say, a couple that feed in the South that we have clubs at, but for the most part, they're all East feeders. So.
The funny thing is, regardless of where we are around the city, it seems like the classes of the kids generally, I mean, there's some differences, but the kids are generally the same.
Yeah.
The parents are definitely different, though.
Yes.
The parents that come with those kids have very different approaches to parenting and different ideas about interacting with everybody. But the kids seem to be pretty universal. There's always that.
I would agree there.
The ones that want to know more and the ones that want to beat you.
Mm-hmm. And we're in the closing minutes of Army Navy. Navy is up by points, and they're doing the kneel downs. And go Navy.
I think the Navy are about to.
I think so.
Pull out a win here.
Anchors away. Yeah. Cool.
Go Navy.
Go Navy. Be an Army. Yeah.
Go
and
us.
of course, we say this with full knowledge that Fort Leavenworth is very close by. But like I said earlier in this episode, I was in the Navy for all 2 weeks, so didn't quite make it that basic. So, and that was an experience. Just put it mildly, was an experience. I got to meet all sorts of people from all over the country during my time there. Made a couple of friends, at least for a short term. And if any of them are listening, great. Great. It'd be great to hear from you guys at some point. You know who you are. And I'll always remember my last day in the Navy. The drill instructor, this Puerto Rican guy, was like, "If any of you guys are separating from the Navy, if you decide to ever run for president, I will hunt you down and I will shoot you." And some wiseacre asks, "Well, what about vice president?"
Yeah.
"It doesn't matter. I'm still going to come in and shoot you."
There you go.
Which is why, despite having run for office myself, I will never run for president. I don't want some angry Puerto Rican drill instructor hunting me down to shoot me.
Yeah, I can come up with a whole lot of more reasons beyond that, but that's a pretty good one to not run for president.
Politics is hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, politics is hard enough without thinking about, some guy wants to shoot me. All right. I think I'll wrap up the recording here. So, Jason, thanks for being on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah. And for everyone listening at home, I will talk to you again next time. This podcast is Uncalled For, is hosted, produced, and edited by myself, Mike Chernevsky. Our opening music is This Podcast is Uncalled For theme, made courtesy of Suno.com, Suno.com. And our outro music for this episode is It's Not Hard to Get Lost by Brian Mathis. Licensed under Creative Commons by attribution license. You can find Brian's music at freemusicarchive.org.
Please support the podcast and purchase our exclusive Uncalled For merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and so much more. Go to www.cafepress.com/uncalledforpod. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.
Your time in a bind, not knowing how to put